Teacher Rob, let me introduce to you our Episode 1 teacher, a good friend of mine from grade 10 level. Let us all welcome Teacher Emily!
Okay, students, let us all welcome Ma'am Emily!
Teacher Em.
How are you, Teacher Emily?
Well, I am fine.
Nervous?
No, Teacher Rob.
Oh, nice to hear it.
Yes, the level of confidence is there.
Yeah, so excited.
Yes, I'm very
Wow.
excited. Teacher S, how did you prepare for this episode?
Well, at first, I was nervous when I was informed that I will be part of this project, Cinematematika, because I will be seen by many in the digital TV. But since we are all teachers and we care for our students to learn in this type of pandemic, so let's do it.
Yes,
Wow,
fighting!
that's amazing to hear, Ma'am. Okay, so I think Teacher Emily is ready for this episode.
Yes, but before that, let us have some glimpse of your topic, Teacher M. So what are your topic?
Actually, Teacher Aryan, I will be teaching our grade 10 students with the lesson measures of position like percentiles, deciles, and quartiles.
Wow,
Wow,
statistics.
amazing. I'm so
Very
excited.
useful in
Yes,
research.
yes. So, well, without further ado, let us proceed with our episode 1. Let us all watch this.
Yes!
Magandang araw and welcome to Panabo City National High School Cinematematika. How are you today? I hope you're fine. This is Teacher Emmeline and I would be here to help you understand Mathematics 10 with the topic Solving Quartile Position for ungrouped data using Mendenhall and Sincich Method. The competency is to calculate a specified measure of position of a set of data. For this lesson, you are expected to first, define quartile as a measure of position for ungrouped data. Second, calculate a specified measure of position of a set of data for quartile using Mendenhall and Sincich Method. Third, apply the importance of quartile as a measure of position in real-life situations. Are you ready to learn this topic? Let's go! Let's have first an activity entitled Guess Me. Are you familiar with 4 fixed 1 word? I will show pictures in relation to the topic. Given the 4 pictures, you will give an answer in 1 word only. You will be given 30 seconds to answer each picture. Are you ready? Let's start. Picture number 1. What is your answer? That's right. The correct answer is measure. Picture number 2. What is your answer? Correct! The answer is position. Picture number 3. What is your answer? That's right! The correct answer is 4. Picture number 4. What is your answer? Correct! The correct answer is divide. Picture number 5. What is your answer? Yes! The correct answer is equal. Picture number 6. What is your answer? That's right. The correct answer is parts. Based on the activity that we have done, can you derive the definition of quartile? The quartiles are the score points which divide a distribution into 4 equal parts. 25% of the distribution are below the first quartile. 50% are below the second quartile. And 75% are below the third quartile. First quartile is called the lower quartile, and third quartile is the upper quartile. Second quartile is greater than the first quartile but less than the third quartile, where the second quartile is nothing but the median. How to calculate the quartile for ungrouped data using Mendenhall and Sincich method. Before that, what is Mendenhall and Sincich method? This method is being developed by William Mendenhall and Terry Sincich to find the position of the quartile. To calculate the quartile position for ungrouped data using Mendenhall and Sincich method, use the given formula. For the lower quartile, position of first quartile is equal to 1/4 times n plus 1, where n refers to the number of samples in the data and round to the nearest integer. If the lower quartile falls halfway between 2 integers, round up. The lower quartile element is the lower quartile value of our first quartile. For the upper quartile, position of third quartile equals 3/4 times n plus 1, where n refers to the number of samples in the data and round to the nearest integer. If the upper quartile falls halfway between 2 integers, round down. The upper quartile element is the upper quartile value or third quartile. These are the steps in solving quartile for ungrouped data using Mendenhall and Sincich method. First, arrange the data in ascending order. Second, identify the value of n. Third, solve the specified measure of position of a set of data for quartile using Mendenhall and Sincich method. And fourth, conclusion. Let's have the first example. Consider the score distribution of 15 students. Calculate the first quartile, second quartile, and third quartile. Now, we will have the solution. First, arrange the scores in ascending order. Second, identify the value of n. N is 15 since the number of samples in the data is 15. Third, solve the specified measure of position of a set of data using quartile. First quartile equals 1/4 times n plus 1. Let's substitute the value of n, which is 15. Now we have 1/4 times 15 plus 1. Then, the product of 1/4 and 16 is equal to 4. Therefore, the first quartile is in 4th position. Now, let us solve for the second quartile. Second quartile is equal to 2/4 times n plus 1. Let's substitute the value of n, which is 15. Now we have 2/4 times 15 plus 1. Then, 2/4 times 16 is equal to 8. Therefore, the second quartile is in 8th position. Now, we will have the third quartile. Third quartile is equal to 3/4 times n plus 1. Let's substitute the value of n, which is 15. Now, we have 3/4 times 15 plus 1. Then, the product of 3/4 and 16 is equal to 12. Therefore, the third quartile is in 12th position. Let's have the conclusion. The first quartile or the lower quartile is the fourth element in the data set. Therefore, the first quartile is 74. The second quartile or the median is the 8th element in the data set. Therefore, the second quartile is 79. The third quartile or the upper quartile is the 12th element in the data set. Therefore, the third quartile is 82. Let's have example number 2. The Philippines has a serious trafficking problem of women and children illegally recruited into the tourist industry for sexual exploitation. It is a significant issue in the Philippines, often controlled by organized crime syndicates. Human trafficking is a crime against humanity. The following are the ages of people who are victims of human trafficking according to the Philippine National Police. Now, let us calculate the first quartile and the third quartile. Let's have the solution. First, arrange the scores in ascending order. Second, identify the value of n. Our n is 16 since the number of samples in the data is 16. Third, let us solve the specified measure of position of a set of data using quartile. Now, we will solve the first quartile. First quartile is equal to 1/4 times n plus 1. Let's substitute the value of n, which is 16. Now we have 14 times 16 plus 1. Then, the product of 1/4 and 17 is 4.25. Therefore, the first quartile is approximately in the 4th position. Now let's have the third quartile. Third quartile is equal to 3/4 times n plus 1. Let's substitute the value of n, which is 16. Now, we have 3/4 times 16 plus 1. Then, the product of 3/4 and 17 is equal to 12.75. Therefore, the third quartile is approximately in the 13th position. Let's have the conclusion. The first quartile or the lower quartile is the 4th element in the data set. Therefore, the first quartile is, yes, 19. The third quartile or the upper quartile is the 13th element in the data set. Therefore, the third quartile is, yes, 35. Let us try this. Consider the following set of data. Now, we will calculate for the third quartile. This is our solution. First, arrange the data in ascending order. Second, identify the value of n. Our n is 16, since the number of samples in the data is 16. Now let us solve for the third quartile. Third quartile is equal to 3/4 times n plus 1. Let us substitute the value of n, which is 16. Now, we have 3/4 times 16 plus 1. Then, 3/4 times 17 is equal to 12.75. Therefore, our third quartile is approximately in the 13th position. Let's have the conclusion. The third quartile or the upper quartile is the 13th element in the data set. Therefore, the third quartile is 550. Do you have any questions or clarifications? I hope you enjoy and understand our lesson for today. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. This is Teacher Emeline, now signing off. Goodbye!